my lovelies, and welcome to another plan with me. As you can see, today we are in my mini happy planner, and in front of me now I currently have a monthly layout and a weekly spread. So as you guys are aware, today is normally my weekly spread, but I thought I'd try and do a monthly as well at the same time, while still trying to keep it condensed if we can. So I might do the monthly on a separate video. I don't know, we'll see how we get on for time. And it's a bit unconventional because this is actually a Hobonichi weeks monthly kit, but I thought it would work for the mini because there aren't very many mini kits available on the market. So I just thought I'd try and show you guys an alternative. I have no idea whether it's going to work myself yet till I have a play around. So what we will do for now is we'll put that one to one side and we'll do the weekly. So the weekly kit is also from the FabPlannerPrint. That's where the Hobonichi kit is from. And this is just so colourful and bright and cheery and absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And then it's just given me an excuse to use these 3 washies, which again are really bright and colourful and beautiful. So without further ado, we will get started. So obviously the week we are planning is next week, which is obviously the week of the 11th. Onwards. I think it's the 17th, this is Sunday, off the top of my head. So what we're going to do is we're just going to write in, oops, my date covers. And then that's something I have to remember to do. And what am I doing? That's supposed to be the 12th. So this is another reason why I do date dots, because I'm absolutely useless at getting things in the right order. But it's okay. And we're just gonna get on and put these in. Now, if you guys caught last week's plan with me in this planner, you will have noticed that I used skinny washi, which is the reason why I've tried to use the skinny washi again, because as the week went on with my writing things in and filling the planner out like you do, I actually found it more productive to have the skinny washi in place rather than the full width washi, which I usually do, or a combination of the two. So I think I'm going to stick to that formula for this planner, just because it gives me that little bit more space to jot down what I need to jot down. For those of you that don't know, I tend to use, this is literally a sort of summed up record of my 2 little monkeys. And it's just a way of me keeping up with what's going on for them in regards to operations coming up, psychiatrist's appointments, paediatrician appointments, general GP appointments, any sort of literally everything, and also making a note of how they reacted to that situation, or any day-to-day. Literally, I can, some days I just write, actually we've had a really good, productive, positive day, and I can leave it at that. Other days there's World War III and I make a note of it because I can always look back and go, well, hang on a minute. Did that happen the other day? I think we had that the other day. Okay, now, and then I can make a note, because I've had 2 very similar days. I've then can sit there and say, okay, well, that's a trigger for that child, or that's a trigger for that child. So it's kind of a way of me keeping an eye on what's happening to them, what's going on for them. You know, both my boys have their issues. So one is autistic and suspected of having ADHD. The other one, at the moment, we're still fighting to get tested, but they suspect him of having ADD, as well as being on the spectrum. But for some reason, both my kids, it's going to sound really weird, I sent one to preschool, which was my eldest, and I sent one, my youngest, to a childminders for their early years. And then they've progressed on to school. And preschool for my eldest was extremely traumatic. Was completely the wrong environment to have ever put him in, to have ever situated him in. So I went down a different route with my youngest, and it proved better. And it's actually, oh well, the reason we've not picked up on these things and we've not helped you is because he's not in a preschool. Well, not being funny, I've actually had more help and more assistance with my youngest because my childminder was so much more involved that actually I preferred that method. So as you can see, I've just popped in the full boxes. I'm now just going to go through with the flags and just add a bit of decoration to the boxes that don't have full boxes, just to spread it out a bit. Ready? Oh look, coincidence. But we've actually got a pink with a pink. Other than that, none of them match up. But that one did. So yeah, I mean, that's just the battles. But I keep this diary for my own peace of mind to try and stay on top of things as best I can. So I'm in 2 months to what to do now. Right, I'm going to do my washi, and I'm literally just going to alternate it down the page. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and just see where we end up with it. All of these skinny washies are from Paper Chase. They're from Paper Chase, and I actually think they're the paper tape washies rather than the actual washies. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to silver cloud and say that because I keep this diary, it makes life easier. No. But it does give me a point of reference, which sometimes allows you to be able to sit there and go, well, actually, based on what you're saying, is there any signs of repetitive behaviour? Actually, yes, there is. And I then have the notes as to what, you know, what of that behaviour is repetitive, if that makes sense. So it helps, especially with the endless forms that come attached to making sure that relevant things are in place for my little monkey. So, but like I said, my youngest gets more help than my eldest. Although I guess I've been kind of fighting, and for them to be just treated as normal, sort of, not that they aren't normal, but for their voices to be heard for themselves. So, like, fighting to keep them in mainstream, and just to be, I guess, normal's not the right word, just to be accepted in mainstream society, you know, not to be sort of singled out or treated differently. And I'm starting to think now that not necessarily that the environment is wrong for them being in mainstream. I just don't think the mainstream school that they are in is necessarily the right placement for them, because they just won't help with Reese there. Oh well, it's this, it's got nothing to do with us, he doesn't do it here, blah blah blah. Well, actually he does do it there, because you've proven to me, you've voiced your concerns. Otherwise you wouldn't still be making appointments for me to come in and discuss things with a specialist that was assigned to him, and so on and so forth. And also, like, dynamics have changed slightly. So what he was doing all the time, actually he does now more when he's stressed around school environment. And it's like, well, you're still going to sit there and tell me that this is my fault, this is my problem. So yeah, it's an ongoing battle. To be wholly honest. Now, I normally put some sort of a checklist here for things I know I've definitely got to 100% do in the week, because I'm not going to make sure I've got checklists for every day of the week when I know I'm not necessarily going to use them. So what I might do is, I know I've got some, hopefully I've got some smaller, this is an Eric Condren sticker book, and all I'm looking for, and I can't remember if there are any mini checklists. Yes, there are. Oh, and they're all really, really pretty and brightly coloured. So I've got a funny feeling that one of these lists will fit perfectly. Now I'm just deciding what colour. And I'm thinking, actually, just to be awkward, I want the first one on the row. Right, so I might have to just bring my tweezers in just to be able to get hold of the corner of this. I had a feeling I had these, but I wasn't 100% sure when I grabbed the sticker book, to be fair. And then I might just need, oh, that works. And then I'm going to use one of these lovely coloured strips, and I think I haven't got any pink in that page, have I? Should we put the pink one in, not the purple one? And then I'm just going to cover up that little thing that says word of the week. If I can get this to go straight. Oops. Which I clearly can't, apparently. Like that. And then I'm just going to write across it to do. And I think that works really, really well. It's just a nice little way of using up that box. And then, as you can see, I've got some deco. So I'm just going to decorate a little bit. I'm not going to go mad. Because like I said, I quite liked... I used to fill these so they matched all the way down, and to be fair, I found it easier just to have things spread out a little bit. So it's still nice to use up the deco, but still giving myself a lot of space to write in, because obviously on these days things are a little bit more cramped up, and obviously if I had the wider washi, which is double the width basically, you can see it leaves me with quite a tiny little box. So it's quite nice to not be cramped in, if that makes sense. So just like popping them on the top edge corners, I think just works really, really nicely. So even though there's a full box there, I can still pop something up in that top corner, and this pretty much it, to be fair. That is the deco used up, which is really, really cool. And then I'm going to use this little welly sticker here, because that's the day I plan in this planner, and it's just nice to have a note. Do you know what, I'm going to see if I can pull that off actually, if I can, because I think it does look a little bit bare not having something in that corner. And that, guys, is it for that spread, that Plan With Me spread. So I hope you like it. I think it's fabulous. I just absolutely love the brightness and the vibrancy of that. So that's the week of the 11th through to the 17th. And now we're going to have a go at the monthly. And like I said, this is an Hobonichi weekly, so I'm just doing things a little bit differently. Now, I never ever use the note space, so I'm going to use the washi for the note space. And then what I've brought in is I brought in these two brush pens. They are both by Tombow. This is a Tombow ABT, and it's just a dual tip. So you've got the fine end and you've got the brush end. And I've absolutely loved these. I was introduced to this style of lettering and writing and these pens recently at a planner convention, and absolutely loved it. So I just, any excuse now to practice writing with them and using it somehow in my planner. And this is a, I don't want to mispronounce this, but I think it's a Fendosaki pen. Could be completely wrong, so please don't quote me on that. But this is absolutely gorgeous. And actually these two are ones that my husband brought me because I said I wanted to keep practicing and keep going. And he said, well, we better get you some more pens then. Bless him. And this is a soft one. So absolutely loving using those pens and playing around with them, and I just thought that colour went perfectly with this kit. So like I said before, this kit is traditionally for a Hobonichi weeks, but I'm hoping that this is going to work as I want it to, and as this is the month of April, so obviously it's not going to fit. I am changing it from Sunday to Saturday to Monday to Sunday. It's a habit I've started developing in most of my planners, to be fair, because it actually relates better to the week layout than the monthly layout, because I'll look at the monthly layout, especially if I've got to plan something, I do something once a week, and I'm trying to make sure that I do different days of those weeks. And what I was finding by working it out on the monthly, that some weeks I was doubling up, because I do something, say, on the Tuesday, and then I on the planner it's the next week because I've picked the Sunday, but actually it's the same week. I was like, oh no, I've done 2 posts, and then I was finding I was doing no posts the following week. So, but you know what, these are really cute and it looks pretty good so far. I mean, I know I've literally just started, but I'm actually really liking this already. So that's quite fun. And like I said, the advantage of April is it does start, Monday is the 1st. So that's quite fun. Yeah, I mean, This planner, as you can clearly see, is an undated planner, and in many respects that's quite a lot easier to work with in regards to if you change up your days of the week, etc. So now I'm literally just going to work my way through all the date dots, and if I remember correctly, there is only 30 days in April. Yep. Just double checking. As I've done that before, I've gone racing ahead in an undated planner, not checked, and I've ended up with extra days. Like February, I could have sworn this year was a leap year. No idea why, I could have sworn this year was a leap year. And it was one of those, I've got to check. Got to check, I'm sure I'm right, I'm sure I'm right. I was wrong. I was really, really wrong, because it's not a leap year at all. But I could have sworn blind that it was. That we were heading into a leap year. And I had no idea why. But I'm pretty certain now, thinking about it, I've been convinced that this year was a leap year last year. But even then, sort of thinking it through in my head, I was... sorry, I put that one down first because I thought I was going to knock it off the page. I was convinced, absolutely convinced, that something didn't sit right about me sitting there thinking that it was a leap year, which is why I never said anything. Why I didn't bother to check... Oh, God. That wasn't particularly straight. Why I didn't bother to check all the way back then, I don't know. That was really, really bizarre. But, oh well. It's just the way it is. Just the way it was, I suppose. So... So I'm just, like I said, milling my way through this as quickly as I can. Honestly, when it comes to monthly spreads, the most boring aspect of it is doing these blinking date dots. And obviously, the smaller the planner, the more pain in the arse it becomes, because obviously the stickers become a little bit more fiddly and a little bit more delicate, and yeah. But, you know, life struggles, you know. So yeah, it's just... See, that's what I was trying to avoid doing. And you watch... Oh, no, I got it before I stuck it to the desk. This oh, I say desk. This is actually a table. I'm guessing it would be a, well, it was originally purchased to go in my kitchen as a kitchen table. It's a diddy little square pine table. But to be fair, it was just getting in the way, because you had to have it at a certain angle in order to get 4 people around it. There was plenty enough space for everyone to sit and have their dinners. That wasn't an issue. It was just how it had to sit in the kitchen. And then when I started doing the YouTube channel, oops, I've got 2 dates together here. I needed a workspace that allowed for me to have the camera set up on it without being too intrusive of the workspace, whilst at the same time still allowing me enough room to store everything and keep everything as I wanted it. And it just seemed a sensible way of recycling the space. Recycling the desk. So that is precisely what I have done. You get a sense of how tiny these stickers are when the tweezers are picking them up 2 by 2. And there we go, and we're done. So I don't actually have any birthdays. If that looks stripy to you, that's because it is actually fully striped on the other side. I absolutely love this undated planner. So what I'm going to do now, so obviously I've got all these spare things, and I don't really have an awful lot of appointments as yet for April, but then we are only at the beginning of March still. So I don't know if I wanted to do that first or do the washi. I do have some washi choices for this. I've got these 2, these 3. But I think I'm going to run the dots next to that one because I just really like the dots. And I'm wondering if it's going to be worth to white out that note thing. I think I will just blank that out. So I just want to go, what I'm going to do actually is I'm just not going to trim it just yet. I'm just going to lay it down like so, and then I'm going to lay this gorgeous dragonfly next to it. Trying to, there we go, perfect. I'm happy with that, and then I can just trim this off to match with dragonfly then. That came in a roll, that particular washi came in a roll from the range, I believe it was. So really liking that. And then it's got another strip of washi here, which I'm hoping is going to fit down this edge. Yep, it's certainly skinny enough too. Almost framing the month, if you like. So, okay, I've gone slightly squiffy at the top there. That's a bit straighter, isn't it? There we go. Like so. And then so I'm not going to use the headers really for this, as I've just decorated. So why I brought this and that is because I just want to do like that. Let's go over it and just make it that little bit darker. So I'm not going to actually write with this one. I'm just going to let that dry into the paper now, and then I'm going to write April over the top. I said March then. Like so. And then I'm just going to decorate down the bottom. So I've got all these lovely little boxes, and obviously I haven't really got any dates for April yet. Apart from half term, which I could put in, but I'm not going to put in yet. The Easter holidays I've got going here somewhere. But I'm just going to decorate all around. With some of the beautiful dragonflies that are a part of this kit. I might possibly find some other bits and pieces that can go in and amongst these boxes. I don't know. I just really love the fact that these dragonflies are so cute. Absolutely loving these little dragonflies. It has got to be said, like so, and then I'm going to put one up in there like that because I think that looks really, really cute. And I'm going to put another little one down the bottom, and then I've got this diddy widdy one that's going to need tweezers because it's so diddy widdy, that I'm just going to pop here on top of the Thursday. So I'm happy with that. So like I said, there's no birthdays, but all these will come in useful at some point throughout the month, so I never ever get rid of them. And now it should be ready for me to write April in. Not that I can remember off the top of my head how to do the capital A, so we're just going to go with it. There we go, like so. I think that works. Okay, this is there are two different types of these, and there's the hard one and the soft one. This is the soft one, and it's a little bit harder with the soft one to make the skinny lines, but I think it still worked out really, really well. And then I brought in this skinny washi as well because I was just going to trim along the bottom because it's all the colours that match. And this is like a super skinny, and I just thought it'd be really, really nice way just to edge off along the bottom of the pages, like so. And I swear this has not been printed straight on these pages for Happy Planner, because you line up with the bottom of the page and you line up with the bottom of the boxes, and there's a blatant difference in gap. But it's the same with that. That is blatantly lined up perfectly with the edge of the box, but I'm going to trim that off, I think, because that's just so tiny. And there we go, guys. So we've got that one, which I've done for the April monthly, and we've got this one, which is March the 11th through to the 17th. And then to go with this spread, we've got that gorgeous little dinky clip, and that gorgeous little dinky clip, and they're both from the Crafty Carly on Etsy. So I hope you like this little double plan with me, and I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I will catch you again on my next video. Bye bye, my lovelies.